Hi, I'm Julie Naclei, and this is a quick video on how to know if Saturn hates you. Basically, Saturn is a planet that demands we take responsibility. But what is responsibility? I feel that frequently in our cultural responsibility, we interpret it to mean responsibility for ourselves, and then we micro-focus on one aspect of life, and we say, oh, I'm taking responsibility for myself in this one tiny way, and then we use that to absolve ourselves of all debts to the people around us. But this is ridiculous because we didn't create the world, we didn't create our bodies, we didn't create language, we didn't create technology, we didn't grow our food. Even if we put a fucking seed in the ground and ate that tomato, we still didn't cause the tomato to grow. Life did that, you know? The tomato sacrificed itself. It's like all of life is constantly right there for us, giving ourselves to it. You know, even if we work to earn money, it's like there's still someone giving us money. That's no different than a housewife who's doing work and her husband gives her money. You're doing work and someone else is giving you money. They don't have to. The slaves didn't get that money. You know, it's like we're getting stuff all the time from everything around us. We're a part of the world, and our responsibility is to play the role that we were meant to play in the world, because all of this is being given to us so that we can play a specific role. And that role is not designed to just benefit our own selves. That's absurd, you know, and no one can be, I don't think a person can even be happy with that mindset. It's basically what A Christmas Carol is about. Scrooge has adopted, he thinks he's responsible because he runs a business and he earns money and he buys his own potatoes. But meanwhile, there's starving people knocking on his door while he's sitting on a mountain of cash, and it never occurs to him that the cash he's sitting on is there so that he can be responsible for them. He's convinced himself that no one else around him is his responsibility. His employees, and the fact that their kids are dying of starvation, that's not his responsibility. The fact that the woman who loves him is going away in tears, that's not his responsibility. His nephew isn't his responsibility. The beggars aren't his responsibility. Society's not responsibility. Only Scrooge is his responsibility. And from a Saturn perspective, that simply does not fly. I mean, if you're irresponsible, so you aren't even responsible to yourself, then yeah, Saturn doesn't like that. But if you're only responsible for yourself, that's not even that fucking much better. Because our responsibility goes so far beyond that. We're responsible to, we have duties to life. We have duties and debts to life. And our responsibility is to fulfill those as much as we are capable of. And it doesn't really matter, you know, like you could be someone like Stephen Hawking, who no one would even think of as being self-reliant because he can't even feed himself, but he's still doing his best to fulfill his role. You know, so like, to whatever extent you tell yourself that you do or don't depend on other people, none of that absolves you of your responsibility to the people in the world around you. From a Saturn perspective, that's what responsibility is. Responsibility is taking up your duties to contribute to the world. And for everyone, that will play out in a different way, you know. For some people, it might be financially providing. For others, it might be providing, you know, being the strong person for other people emotionally. But there's going to be ways in which it's our job to give. It's our job to be there for other people, not just for ourselves. The only point in having strength, inner strength, is if you share that strength. If you stop at the point of having strength for yourself, but you never share that strength with other people, it serves no purpose, and you're really a net loss from Saturn's perspective. Only being responsible for yourself, from a Saturnine perspective, is a net loss to the world. So you will go to hell, Saturn will follow you into hell, and he will hound you till the end of time. Yeah, so it's like you could have an astrologer look at your chart to tell you what aspect of life you're supposed to contribute to, but you can really just use common sense. You know, if you're sitting on money and starving kids are knocking on your door, there's your sign of what to do. I mean, I think it's usually pretty obvious what we have to contribute. And then we just look for opportunities to contribute and to give that to other people. I mean, I think it's like one of the, I mean, I believe in capitalism, but I think one of the problems with it is that it can convince us, it's not a spiritual system, you know, it's an economic system. And what it can convince us that we have no duty to anyone but ourselves. And astrologically, this cannot be farther from the truth. Saturn is 100% about acknowledging and accepting the duties that you have towards other people and towards the world. And if you do not accept this, you are going to burn in hell like a fucking crisp. I'm Julie Naclea, and this is How to Know if Saturn Hates You. Thank you.